The rallies based on Forestry Commission roads closed for the duration of the event, and while the drivers and the hordes of enthusiasts who turn out to watch enjoy their day in the country, others have work to do. Nothing is certain in rallying, and Andrew Wood lost everything when a deceptive brow caught him out and he left the road and collided with a tree stump. Ken Wood now had a clear field. He saw the Astra in trouble and drove cautiously around the same bend. Grierson had no chance of catching the Metro, but Ken Wood had no chance of holding on to the title, so the battle was far from over. Galanders had lost the championship, but his outright win on the previous round had already guaranteed the Group A title. Robin Christie would eventually finish 7th, in spite of taking the occasional wrong turning. Marshall was now more confident about his position. The car was going well, and he was lying 3rd after Andrew Wood's retirement. Jimmy Girvin had moved in amongst the leaders as they headed north again on the return leg. Ken Wood's lead continued to grow and the heat was on, not just for the championship points, but in each of the leading cars the drivers were losing pounds as both they and their machines put everything into it.
Ken, how's it going? Hot work?
Oh, hard work this. Great fun though, really enjoyed it now, we're getting it this way.
The car's going very well, is it?
Never missed a beat.
Really? You're very pleased with it then?
Oh, really tickle pink with this boy. Great.
What sort of lead have you got?
Well, Andrew's been off, so we had about 30 seconds on him, but he's been off for at least a minute. In fact, I think he's off altogether now, out of the rally, I think.
So what sort of lead have you got?
About minute and a half, something like that.
So you're going to keep this then, are you?
No send it back. I'll burn the box now.
Galanders was almost tying with Marshall for 3rd place. And Murray Grierson felt the event was really warming up.
Murray, you look pretty warm. Is it warm?
It's very warm, I'll tell you.
How are you enjoying it?
Not too bad. Gordon Smith's off, well off now. He went off in the same corner as Andrew Wood went off first and got back on. Well, Kenny Wood came along when Andrew was off, so he didn't go off. We were next along and we went off backwards. Not too far then, back on. We got out and Gordon Smith went right off.
So are you quite happy then? Where's George?
Well, still got this problem with George. I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, but you're fairly happy with the way things are going?
That's one out of the way so far.
George Marshall had now established the pace. The end and the championship title were in sight. But others were having their problems. Muir was clearly established in 2nd place behind the Metro, but things weren't quite so smooth for Gordon Smith.
What happened, Gordon?
We're all done the stage previous to this, about a mile and a half in.
What, just too fast were you?
Yeah. We followed the tree line went straight off.
Ken Wood was now more than 2 minutes ahead and clearly couldn't be caught. Tom Muir was having a tremendous drive to give him 2nd place, but even then only 17 seconds clear of George Marshall, and only 1 second kept him ahead of Galanders. Before heading back up the Jukes Pass for the final stages, it was back to Aberfoyle for the second service. For Gordon Smith's car, some drastic action was called for. But what was important was that in spite of his diversion, he was still very much in the running. Cars, and the Metro doesn't give much warning of its approach. Ken Wood was unchallenged as he headed for the finish in Callander. And Grierson, now more than 3 minutes behind, could only hope that his rivals would encounter trouble on the final stages. Galanders pressed on in the Volvo, helped no doubt by the lack of brakes towards the end. A rear puncture failed to halt the progress of Marshall. If he could change the wheel quickly, the championship was his. Gordon Smith continued with temporary repairs, but he was now well and truly out of contention. Tom Muir headed for second place, but it was no dishonour following the Metro home, and it was also his best result of the season. And further points at the head of the Challengers category for Jimmy Girvin, completing his first season in the sport. So a remarkable event for the Metro and Ken Wood. After 15 years of rallying, it had been one of his best performances since he began in a Mini.
It's been quite a good day, Ken.
It hasn't it half, eh?
Have you enjoyed it?
Oh, well, I really enjoyed it now. It wasn't a wee bit concerned after the first half mile at the first stage. I thought I'll never get the hang of this, but we've only been off twice. Your cameras both times, I think. I seem to remember seeing them.
It's still in one piece, though.
It is indeed. The only thing we've lost off the front's the number plate, which is not too bad going. Yeah.
So you're looking forward to next season then, obviously. I mean,
indeed,
apart from, I mean, this was just a run-up to next season.
Right, it was just to try it out, see how it handled on the loose and whatnot, and just get the hang of it, get the feel of it. It's a real little brute to drive, like. I think it'll be even worse with 400 odd horsepower in the back.
Does it not worry you though, a car like this? I mean, it's changing the whole face of rallying, isn't it, really?
Well, it's not worrying me personally just now, but I know what you're on about right enough. I mean, this is one of these so-called supercars worth about £40,000. I mean, it's getting a bit ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, exactly. I mean, how many clubmen are going to be able to afford a car like that?
This is the thing, this is it. But just keep persevering away, everybody. I mean, I came up the hard way and managed to get this left, so I'm quite pleased about it today, but some folks say ban four-wheel drive. You can't really. It's all just development and progression and whatnot.
Hello, Tom.
Hello.
How'd you get on? The last I heard you were lying second, is that right?
We're not too sure, but I think we're still second.
Yeah, that's a good result.
Quite pleased with that.
I mean, against the Metro, it's, if it hadn't been for the Metro, you would have won?
It's not a bad excuse anyway.
Not many people could use that excuse. You enjoyed the event?
Yes, aye.
No trouble? It's still in one piece?
Yes, aye, of course.
Unlike Gordon Smith ahead of you there.
Well, it's got out a very bad corner actually. I think if he hadn't gone off, a lot of other people would.
Wood may have won the event, but it was almost certain Marshall had taken the title from him.
George, what's the latest news? As far as I can understand, you have actually won the championship.
Yeah, well, we've had a puncture in the second last stage, but I think we're still 12 seconds in front of Murray Grierson anyway, so...
And you finished, which is really what you needed.
That's just what we needed, eh? I hope that's it anyway.
Yeah, obviously you've got to check your times, but presumably you're very pleased.
Well, that's what we've been after, innit?
So the event and the championship was settled. Ken Wood with a clear 2.5-minute win, and Tom Muir taking second place, 23 seconds ahead of Galanders. And 10 seconds later, George Marshall. But it was enough to give him the championship by 6 points ahead of a disappointed Murray Grierson. And David Galanders hoping that next year with a Metro he should improve on his